What's up, YouTube? I'm here today with a very interesting person, Mr. T, who has been to over 97 countries. One of the countries he's been to is China, which I find very interesting. And if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little about some of your travel experiences.
Hey, my name's Tim J. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Been teaching all around the world. I teach economics. Sometimes I teach business English and a little bit of world history. I teach mainly in Asian countries, for example, China, Japan, Korea, been to Singapore, a few other countries.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What is your opinion of the political situation going on with the coronavirus and everything? They don't know the origin. Were you there during the Wuhan when the COVID-19 happened?
Actually, I was in Bali, Indonesia on vacation, taking
Okay.
it easy when it first happened. And I had heard about it, didn't make much of a big deal about it because I figured, quite a few viruses had come out of China, and we've gotten through them fine. So I just didn't make a big deal about it. I just thought,
We had
another virus. So.
we had the swine flu, we had SARS. So
Right,
I mean,
right.
this keeps on happening. Do you think this is going to continue to keep on happening?
I think so because it just does. And like I've been living in.
But why is it
Asia.
coming from China all the time?
That's interesting. It's really hard to say why, but definitely there's something going on. And I've been living over there been based there for about more than 10 years, and I've lived through all of their illnesses, and I have not been affected.
What do you do in China?
I teach, give lectures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you teach? You teach college students or
Yeah,
middle
university.
school?
I teach university, high school. If I teach middle school students, it would be private students. I'd be doing that in a private capacity.
In your opinion, do you think there was a cover-up?
That is a question that
Is it conceivable?
it's possible. I'm not going to say it is, but I'll say it's possible.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. I know we talked about this before regarding freedom of speech. If I were to go and say something derogatory about the President Xi,
Yes.
X-I, right? That's how it's
Correct.
spelled. If
Correct.
I were to say something derogatory on President Xi, what would happen to me?
You'd probably get into some trouble. You'd more than likely be arrested because anything that you say negative towards the CCP, you're going to be arrested for it. Most likely you would be arrested for it because it's negative and they don't like it and it's against Chinese law.
What about defense? Will it have any kind of defense? Any burden of proof of innocent until you're proven guilty? Is there anything like that? Like they have in
You'll be assigned an attorney, you'll go to court, and you'll be proven guilty.
Wow. So kangaroo court.
Pretty much.
Wow. Were you worried about that when you were there as a military veteran and that kind of thing?
No, not really, because I wasn't there to spread my opinions or spread religion, because whenever you sign a contract with a Chinese school, university, or company, that's part of your contract is to not do certain things or say certain things that are derogatory towards the Chinese government and China as a nation. So.
And not, if you do, you'll get arrested and fired, right?
Well, you get fired. Not always arrested, but you'll definitely be fired, or at least reprimanded. And it just depends on what you say or whatever actions that you're taking.
How is the morale of the people there under this kind of oppression? I mean, no, they didn't talk about the Tiananmen Square. I mean, it seems to me they're more interested in stuff that happened 100 years ago on a farm or something. Biden was talking about some kind of massacre, and they didn't mention anything about the Tiananmen Square that happened on June 1st. How is the morale of the people? Are they upset, or is their people okay? Are they happy over there in China, or what's going on?
Yeah, a lot of people are happy in China.
Okay.
Especially if they're making money. So Chinese are about making money. They got their mind on their money and their money on the mind.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's their mentality. It's about making money. It's not about thinking about what happened, during that time period or what happened on the square. That's pretty much a non-factor as far as their thought process in daily life.
What's the cost of living as far as is it rampant poverty, or is it most people they're pretty wealthy in that area?
Most people are doing pretty well. Even people who are not super rich, are you would consider middle class, are doing okay. So there's not rampant poverty as you would see, like they make it out to be on TV. That's one thing that you can't do, is believe everything you see on TV. When you go there and you're living that life and you're experiencing the culture, yeah, there are some poor people. There are some people that are out in the countryside that are not doing well. However, even those people who are out in the country, China's doing a lot of development, so they're buying up a lot of land. Farmers who live out there who were not doing so well before are doing much better because Chinese government has bought their land. They're helping farmers produce more products depending on what the demands are for the country. So not everyone is as poor as the mainstream media makes it out to be.
And as far as capitalism goes, I mean, there's really not many entrepreneurs there. Is there room for that in a communist government?
Entrepreneurship in China has blown up. It has exploded.
Really?
Absolutely. Do not believe that there are no entrepreneurs in China. I'm talking about mainland China. Not so much Hong Kong, but mainland China.
Right.
Lots of entrepreneurs, lots of opportunity for people to do their own business, whatever it is they want to do. The Chinese government is really not holding them up. When you compare the Chinese government allowing people to do what they want to do, as far as entrepreneurs starting your own business, mom and pop, brother and sister, whatever it is, the Chinese government has actually done a better job of getting out of the way, in a way, compared to how the U.S. does. The U.S. has a lot of red tape, and you got to go through a bunch of things and hoops and bounds and all of these things. Whereas in China, you can have just a little push cart with some wheels on it, and you could be frying some eggs and selling some hot dogs, and you're making good money.
So, are you telling me, and you're telling my audience, that it's easier as an entrepreneur in China than it is in America, with the rules and everything?
In some sense, yeah.
Wow.
It is. Yeah,
wow.
It is.
That's amazing.
The government has almost made like a conscious choice to sort of get out of the way. As long as you have the proper permits to operate, whether you're a cart pusher who's cooking things on the side of the road in front of someone else's business, as long as you have the minimum documents, the minimum certifications that you need to operate as a small business owner, the government pretty much steps out of the way and allows you to do, make as much money as you want and do what you want.
Does the president, does he have any kind of opposition? Are there elections? Are there free elections? Or he's going to stay in power for the rest of his life?
He can pretty much stay in power as long as he wants to.
Wow.
There's no real free election system like in other Western countries, no.
Wow. Okay.
But capitalism has snowballed unbelievably in mainland China. I mean, it is
amazing
how that country has blown up in the last 20 to 25 years. I mean, development is just insane. And the design of their cities, their innovation as far as transportation is concerned, their transportation is almost second to none in the world. They have really great transportation system, modes of transportation.
What about pollution? I hear there's a lot of pollution over there, that they don't really care about the environment. What's that all about?
Well, there is a lot of pollution, especially in Beijing. The air quality is really poor. And so sometimes you will have to wear a mask. I've had to do that. Me and other colleagues have had to wear a mask on certain days or certain weeks because of the air quality, and the pollution is so bad sometimes that it looks like a black or dark gray cloud is like right here in your face. I mean, face level, and you have to wear a mask to get around anywhere. And some days, the local government will warn you that you should not be outside because of the air quality. So you have to stay indoors.
Doesn't the air that from the outside go on the inside?
Well, it can, but you just try to keep your windows and doors closed. Yeah.
How about air conditioning? Is that a big thing over there? Or?
Yeah, there's AC. A lot of people have AC. Some people don't, but a lot of people do. Yeah.
Okay, so wow. So do you see that America is going in that direction as far as a lot of people talking about with the communism, with things going on, happening in America today? Do you see the government going in that direction?
I see one side of the United States government going in that direction, mainly the left. You don't want a leftist ideology running your country, especially if you have a sovereign country like the United States. It just doesn't work.
But if China is doing pretty good, and communism, there's capitalism going on, it's easier in China than it is in America. Maybe communism's not so bad. What do you think about that?
It is bad.
Oh, it is bad.
In certain ways,
Okay.
it's bad, yeah.
Elaborate, please.
I think that the only reason I'm saying that it's bad is because you just have one form of government and you're not allowing another party or another point of view, within the government system. So if there was another point of view, another thought process into how government should operate, I think being a one-dimensional government, it just makes things hard on people. So in many ways, I would think that, Chinese people would like another form of government, but, they have what they have. It's hard to change what they have because they don't, the people themselves don't really have control as far as what goes on in government, and they don't have a right to vote. So in that aspect, I just don't think it's good for Western countries to adapt to a communist or socialist type of government, especially when your citizens are so used to freedom and liberty and sovereignty. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else? I don't want to be too long. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences of traveling the world other than China, or any topic you'd like to share about?
I would just say that when you have a sovereign country, you live in a sovereign country, you live under the freedoms, especially like the United States, you want to keep those intact. You do not want to go in a left-leaning, socialist, monarchist, communist form of government system. That is not ideal. Most of what I hear coming from the West and including the United States is just utter insanity. And you don't want to live under insanity. You don't want to live under leftist, Marxist type of rule. It's just not good for the citizens. It's not good for the country. And you lose your way.
Come to think of it, I don't know, like when you think about Venezuela, Cuba, China, I don't know any, and then Russia, I don't know any country that's adopted those principles has actually thrived under that. I think most of the countries like Germany and Spain and France and America, of course, have thrived under the institution of capitalism. So I don't know. I think that might illustrate your point then.
Right. No government rule or government system has been successful under a socialist, pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Pure communist system. They've all failed. They've all tried and they've all failed. And I think that the leftist mentality, progressive mentality in the United States with the Democrat Party, I think if people want to go that way, it's going to fail. There's no way you can succeed under a pure Democratic Party ideology in the United States. It will fail. There's no way it can be successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody has a point of view. It's good to share different points of view. I think if you don't study the history, you're doomed to repeat it. So I think there's very good points. I want to thank you for our conversation. Thank you for the interview.
No problem.
And you have a website you want to promote or anything?
Not right now, but there will be a YouTube channel coming out called Tim TV Live, and I'll talk about lifestyle, I'll talk about my travels, I'll talk about making money, especially internet marketing, and just guys, women in general, starting your own business for yourself, branding yourself, and doing your own thing. It's great to have a job if you have one, no problem with that. But it's also, really important for you to do your own thing in the world, so you can be your own enterprise and make your own decisions and dictate how you want to live life.
Tim TV. Well, we'll be looking out for it.
Tim TV Live, yes.
When it drops. Tim TV Live. Great. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.